They left me. How could they?
Because it's safer to be with someone you know. Willkommen, bienvenue, welcome one and all to another live stream as David makes his way through the mist from which he has emanated. We are David Chernick and Gareth Wax of the Many Purple Hats, and we talk weekly about issues that affect people in modern sales, and today is no exception. We are talking about winning back old clients.
Yeah, I said a lot to client. It happens so much that I thought I'd finally address this topic. I mean, it's happened to me. I'm sure it's happened to you.
Yeah.
And it would have happened to anybody who's been in business for a while. I got a message yesterday from one of my clients saying they have just heard from. Well, they sent me a copy of the email that they had been sent. And the email was basically just to let you know that we have changed brokers. Thank you.
Which is speak for saying we're no longer going to use you. That's what they're basically
saying. No longer need your services.
Yeah. Have a nice life. Ciao.
And with a thank you. Thank you for all of your years of service. They've been with them.
I had one the other day, which was said we were reviewing our budget spend, and it came up that one of the new vice presidents had decided that something he's used in the past, maybe a better spend of the resources we allocate to you than yours. Thank you for all your treasured work. Until next time we speak, goodbye.
That's long. They need to say it in such a long-winded way. Let me read this one to you. I wanted to inform you that we've moved to a different broker and will no longer require your services. Thank you very much for your assistance over the past years. Now, those past years, in this case, amounted to 20 years.
20. That was a sign-off after 20 years of close association. Fucking, excuse my
Well,
friend.
I mean, I don't know. Close association, for me, doesn't sound too close.
Unless the group that they normally dealt with changed. I've had that before. I had a long association with an enormous company that had built up over 6 years, and my person who headed up the team that I used to interact with retired, and everybody underneath him dissipated into different parts of that company, and I had a new group to deal with who had never heard of me before. And I was back in the mix with everybody else, and I had to fight my way back up again.
Yeah, I had one that died. I think I mentioned it on this show before. But
that is very inconvenient.
Lucky
and inconsiderate.
Anyway, this is not going to be a show about how to stop this happening. Yeah, no. That's a whole nother topic. This is how do you win them back?
All right, cool. All right, David, how do you win them back?
Thank you. So we've got to recognize that we're starting from a point of regret, yeah, and a feeling of loss, and perhaps unfairness. But it could be a whole range of different emotions. And the regret might, if only I'd done something differently, or what did I miss, or it could be a whole load of different emotions, but sort of generally negative emotions. But those emotions cannot be allowed to drive your response. Yeah, we have a higher brain, us humans, which means we can think things through. We can take a step back and we can plan our future in a different way. So clearly something has gone wrong, either at their end or your end or both. And we need to figure out what that is. It could be as simple as they made a mistake. Yeah, somebody might have left, and the new person might have just didn't realize the value of such a long-standing relationship and just switched. Right. And all you need to do is tell them, I'm going to say it. you've been with us 20 years, all this value, da, da, da. Oh, sorry, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize. And they'll flip back. But that is unusual. That is unusual in my experience. You know, I've had a lot of clients over many, many years who've unexpectedly lost a client. So the question really is, how do you win it back? And we've got to be able to have a little strategy and plan that we can roll out every time it happens.
Right.
And so rather than, trying to challenge this decision, and we know, we talked many times about things like objection handling, that challenging other people is not really going to be conducive to finding a way forward that works for both of you. Yeah. In sales, we're looking to work together. You know, the whole sales process, if you are a seller, you're really trying to coach somebody else to make a good decision that's good for them and for you, of course. But you're really trying to coach. You're looking for partnership. You're looking for connection, relationship. You're not looking for persuasion. Throw away those sales books that have a whole chapter on persuasion skills. Yeah. Fire those sales consultants that come and sales trainers that come around trying to tell you the art of persuasion. And that's old. So we want to try and avoid that. We want to get on their side, and we want to be able to appeal to them as human to human. And this is not about trying to beg to win your customer back or trying to sell the benefits of your. It's done. It's finished. Yeah, the relationship. You're divorced. Okay, the paperwork is through. They've sent you the thing. Okay.
Oh my God, you make it sound so final.
Well, you know, life is only final when you exit this world, right? That's when it's the end. So you've got a bit of time between now and then. And my advice is to treat this as a learning experience and make the person who's just fired you part of that learning experience. Yeah, appealing to them to help you learn. So you've got to be genuine about this. You really want to try and find out what it is that has driven them to leave you after so long. So I try immediately and to confirm that I have heard them, very similar to objection handling. You know, I hear you, I confirm, I acknowledge, you know, all of that kind of stuff. But I also ask for a quick call. Yeah, a 20 to 30 minute call, which I try and do these. I mean, I always try and do it face to face if possible. But rather than just a phone call, you know, once they agree to the call, if they agree to the call, try and get them on a Zoom or a Teams, something like that, so you can speak to them. And what we're trying to do here is the equivalent of an exit interview. Okay, so an exit interview, anybody who's left an employer or works in HR might be familiar with an exit interview. It's trying to find out the reasons why an employee left.
I have to say, man, I got to stop you there.
Go on.
Most people are absolutely petrified about asking what went wrong.
Yeah. Well, look, you might be hearing some home truths that could be painful.
Of course, I suspect you will hear home truths
hidden in those reasons. If you can get to the real reasons, is going to be your route back into that client, and it might be a quick route back. You might only lose them for a year.
Yeah, but they might say something that hurts my feelings.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you've got to own that shit. You've got to own it. Look, something has gone wrong. Yeah, and it could be as simple as they just fancied a change. All right. It could be as simple as, well, we needed to reinforce the value that they were getting a bit more regularly. It could have been that we didn't make that, check-in call at the 7-month point to see how they were doing and give us a chance to turn around a failing situation. There have been a whole load of different reasons. We've got to try and find out why. And yeah, they might be a bit personal. They probably won't be, because most people don't leave their suppliers because they just don't like an individual that works there. You know, most of the time it is for a particular reason. It can be neglect. You know, they've had other competitors crawling around them all over the place, you know, finding out all sorts of cool information about them, finding out what really keeps them up at night and presenting to them a solution that deals with that thing that's been keeping them up at night all these years. You know, it could be that they've moved because of price or anything else, but you've got to find out. If you don't find out, you are disempowered, and that's going to make you feel even more upset and more begrudging.
I get you, and
So
I agree with you, but it's just that a lot of people are going to struggle getting past the I don't want to be made to feel that I've done something wrong.
Okay, well, look, parts of it can be how you frame it when you ask for it.
Okay.
You know, I always try and get people to do one step at a time. In sales, sales tends to be a linear process. So yeah, it's always handy to have the end in sight, but you want to be focusing on each individual step. So the first step is really to try and get that meeting, to try and get that call, a 20 to 30-minute call. You're going to frame it as a learning experience, because you're somebody that wants to continuously develop and learn from history. If there is anything to learn, you're appealing to this person who you've had a relationship with for so long to be part of that. You know, and most people want to deep down be helpful. You want it to be with the decision maker, if at all possible. You know, if the person who's letting you know is not the decision maker, then ask again, can we have this 20 to 30-minute call with you tomorrow or the next day, with you and whoever that decision maker is. And obviously, whenever you ask for a question like that, you start the next sentence with the word because. You give them a reason, because we would love to be able to learn anything that we can from your experiences with us and the reasons that took you to another supplier.
Right.
Okay.
So what you're saying is you've got to make it not sound like you're trying to wheedle around for an excuse, but
not only not sound like, but genuinely in your own mind be determined to find out the real reasons why they left.
Okay.
Yeah. Take it from the point that you have lost that client. It's over. It's done. Yeah.
So you've got you could tell yourself you've got nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose. They're not a client anymore. They've dropped you. Yeah. Yeah. You can. Yes. Ultimately, we might be able to claw them back, but they have dropped you. You know, it's like a divorce. If you are divorced and you want to hook back up with the person who you're divorced from, and wanting to get remarried, that's a whole new sign up.
Yeah, you've got to get past all the stuff that caused them to want to divorce you in the first place. So that's what you need to face up.
It could happen. It doesn't have to take weeks, months, and years to happen. It could happen tomorrow. It could happen even the same day. But we need to treat it genuinely that we have been fired, and we want to find out what we can do differently in the future to make sure that other people don't fire us, and so that we can continuously improve the service we offer, the relationships we provide, all of that kind of stuff. And the other thing we've got to get into this request for the meeting, whether you're doing it by email or phone or DM, is a thank you for their custom over however many years it is. And an acknowledgement that it has been painful for you to lose them. And I usually try and get my clients to frame that as it's the pain that your directors and your work colleagues who've been working on that, name them if you want, are sorry to see you go. Yeah. So you're creating a personal connection with them.
Okay.
If or when they agree to this meeting, it's very handy to go into that meeting with a list of questions that you want to ask them, just like an exit interview. Ask them questions about their historical experiences with you, their most recent experiences with you, and what led them to get competitive quotes, and what led them to ultimately leave you. So you can find out that, but write those questions down and treat the call like a 20 or 30-minute interview, an exit interview. Yeah, we call it win-loss analysis. If you're outsourcing that, and you can outsource that. You can get one of your consultants or your marketing agency or someone to conduct that call, so it feels a little bit more objective, and it can take some of the emotion out of it for you when you're doing that call. It can also make it a bit more comfortable for the ex-clients to be open about the real reasons that led them to leave.
Well,
then you'll be armed with a little list of not only potential tools to win them back, but also you're probably going to learn about stuff that could stop you losing other people in a similar sort of way.
guys,
I hadn't heard from you since last year. Okay, right, guys, we're going to phone all our clients up now on a 6 monthly, 3 monthly basis.
I tell you what, maintaining a closer relationship with your clients is part of the whole ethos that we've really been talking about through this whole thing. It's a lot easier financially and also mentally to hang on to existing clients than it is to win a new one. And so therefore, if you can build that relationship with them, if you can build it to the point where I wouldn't say you become best buds, but the fact that you have an ability to talk to each other openly and honestly means that before it gets to the point that you are at the Dear John letter, that you could head it off at the pass. I'm going to just before we go, I'm going to talk about an experience I had recently. A client we white label our services, and a client we had via that had basically sent a Dear John letter to the white labeler and said, we've decided we're not going to do this anymore. And they were willing to let it go. And I said, no, I want to find out what's going on. And I built a sort of relationship with the intermediary. So I sat down with them, albeit via Zoom. And they said, yeah, I don't think we were targeting quite what we wanted. So I said, okay, let's look back. What did you originally want? It turned out what they'd asked us to target for wasn't what they actually wanted. So we went back and I said, would you be open to us retargeting? And we'll give you a short period of free a service. It was only for a week or two. But the whole point was, well, I wanted to demonstrate willing. And I was willing to put a bit of my own skin in the game to prove to them that we could do what they were paying us to do. And within that time, we had already shown that was this huge. We didn't actually contact them yet, but showed this whole groundswell of people good. And by the end of that month, they were paying full. So literally we got them back by asking the question. We could have gone the way which we thought we were going to go, which was, well, ta-ta chum, that's it. But instead, we asked the question and said, what were we doing wrong? And I suppose that follows the very path you said.
Yeah. So the key is really to be genuine about finding out the real reasons why they've left. Okay, absolutely. Rather than thinking in the back of your mind, this could be an opportunity to win them back. They have left.
Well, we wouldn't have uncovered that, in fact, what they'd asked for at the beginning was, in fact, quite different from what they wanted now.
Recognize and acknowledge those feelings that you have inside, that feeling of loss, of regret, of hard done by, all of those things. And don't allow that you deploy your higher brain and don't allow those emotions to start dictating your future behaviors.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't need to feel emotional about this, but what you can do is feel like you have to take ownership of it. So they aren't necessarily the same thing. I mean, it's good to be passionate about what you do, and I think it's important. But what you have to make sure that what their perception is actually what actually happened, and oftentimes they can be slightly different, if only just by a little bit.
It can be accurate. It doesn't matter. We open ourselves up. We call ourselves good listeners, don't we?
Supposedly.
Right. This is the time to switch on those listening skills.
I'm sorry. Did you say something? Oh yeah. On that bombshell, thank you so much, David, for once more bringing to the fore something that could really change the way. He's desperately trying to get his computer to work, but it's not going to work. It hates him with a vengeance. Go on, do the heart thing. It loves the heart.
The heart seems to work quite.
Yeah, go. Lovely. I have to say a quick note. It was Nick Wax down at the Welly. Sad you guys didn't all make it. Some people did. It was great fun. We were rocking out all night. It was good fun. Hopefully there'll be more collaborative Nick Waxes in the future. Watch this space. But I wish all of you just be circumspect. try and take a step back. Don't take it personally, and ask them why it happened, why you are at that position, why they've taken that decision, without necessarily having an agenda. And if they say the thing like, we wanted X and you provided Y, and you look back and you find out they actually asked for Y in the first place, get back in there. It's a lot easier to win them back if you can show that you can do what you said you were going to do and make them happy. Until next time we speak, I wish David, thank you so much for your time. All of you out there, just remember, forge ahead, keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars, and look after that mental health. Bye-bye now.
Ciao, ciao.